Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that little time-lapse footage there of the install. If you are interested in more of a step-to-step guide on how to install the TGV deletes, I can definitely highly recommend checking out Last Human's Garage or my WRX channel. I kind of used both of their channels as my guidance while I was doing my installs. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about how the process worked with Bren Tuning. I placed my order right on their website, probably 7 p.m. on like a Monday or Tuesday night, and by about 10 a.m. the next morning I had an email from Bren Tuning acknowledging the order and also requesting some information about the car, you know, what year, what model, what mods I have done to it, and they also were requesting the information for like the ID number on my access port. So got that right back to them, and a little bit later that day they sent me my first map. So the process overall was pretty quick. In between them sending me my map and me getting the information, I actually did skip a step. They'll be sending you sort of this electronic approval manifest thing. I forget what they call it, but it's an electronic thing that you have to sign off on, and it basically just gives you a lot of information about Bren Tuning, about the tuning process in general, and sort of about what their expectations from you are going to be, and I think just helps get everybody on the same level. Probably more so, the biggest thing is probably just like for liability reasons. I did actually have a little bit of an issue with the very first map they sent me. It wasn't transferring onto the access port correctly, and I kept getting this error that was saying something about the tune not necessarily matching up with the model of the access port that I had, or something along those lines. So I think Bren may have just attached the wrong file initially, which kind of stunk, but they got it resolved for me, so it wasn't a big deal. Once it's on the car, you can go ahead, drive normally. There is a step-by-step process that Bren Tuning will provide you with what they need in terms of the data log credentials that they want you to log. So you'll be able to set up your access port before you do any data logs, but they basically have you do 3 logs per map or per revision. The first log is just kind of a cruise around the block, so not going too crazy, but maybe 3,500, 4,000 RPMs. The second log is about a 2-minute idle log, so just sit idle for 2 minutes, AC off. And then the last log is a wide open throttle log. For that log, you'll pretty much go right into third gear. You'll start right at about 3,000 RPMs, and you'll just floor it all the way up to redline, and then stop your logs. Basically, after you do those, you'll just throw those on the computer, email those over to Bren. They'll take a look at the numbers and send you a revision. Total, the process for me took 9 revisions. I don't know if that's a lot. I don't know if that's average. It definitely seemed like a lot more than I was expecting, but obviously I'm happy to go with whatever they need to do in order to get the best results out of the car and be able to tune it reliably. So hey, if it took 9, it took 9. What are you doing? I'd be curious if any of you guys watching this video have a Bren Tune or have gone through the e-tune process in general. How many revisions did it take you guys? They definitely offered great customer service, and they were getting back to me with revisions within 24 hours. So I think the very first or second revision maybe took like 48 hours to hear back from them, but they definitely get back pretty quick. If you work and don't have time to do the logs during the day, and you're doing them after work at night and shooting them over, don't expect to hear back from them until the next day or even the following day. So, and then also keep in mind, guys, they are closed on the weekends, so don't expect any emails back from them with any map revisions. You do get about 30 days from, I think, the first day that they send you your very first tune until you're able to continue working with them for additional revisions. So 30 days to really get your car dialed in and get all the data logs and have them do all the revisions that you need. So if you're watching this video so far and you've been following along, great, but you're kind of just, okay, yeah, we get it, Devin Langer plane, we know how the e-tune process works, it all sounds straightforward, but how does the Bren Tune compare to the Cobb Stage 2 tune? Well, let's talk about that now, guys. Overall, I will just begin by saying there is a total night and day difference between the Cobb Stage 2 map and the Bren map. I wasn't expecting it to be as big of a difference as it actually is, but guys, I can assure you 100%, if you are kind of teetering on the edge, you're not exactly sure if you should pull the trigger and go with the Bren Tune, go for it. performance benefits of the Bren Tune over the Cobb map are just insane. It really does feel like a brand new car. I felt like with the Cobb map, it was really conservative. I just felt like, you know, while the car was a lot better and obviously faster than stock and even stage 1, the Cobb Stage 2 map just, it didn't ever really give me that, like, you know, that ass in the back of the seat kind of feeling when you would get on it. I just like, I never had that smile on my face. So specifically looking at boost numbers with the Cobb Stage 2 map, I was usually seeing somewhere around 19.5, maybe 20 on the high end. With the Bren map, I've been seeing anywhere from about 22 up to about 22.5 PSI. So a little bit more of an increase there in boost. All right, guys, so another difference that I've noticed between the Cobb Stage 2 map and the Bren map is the Cobb map actually felt a little bit quicker down low. So power seemed to come on a little bit earlier, and it just felt like in low RPM situations, the car was maybe a little bit quicker. But with the Bren map, I would say it's generally a lot better in the mid to top end. So usually for me, anywhere from like 3,000 to redline, this car is pulling hard and it's pulling steadily up to redline. Where with the Cobb map, you know, it was a smooth pull, but I felt like there was a little dip in there somewhere between maybe 3,800 and 42 or 4,300. Power kind of dipped and then would pick back up to redline. Whereas with the Bren map, it's just a really constant linear pull and it's pulling hard the entire time. If you're kind of someone who favors more of like an aggressive, you know, torquey down low power curve, you might kind of favor the Cobb map. But for me, the Bren map is definitely more favored. It's funny, guys, the other day I let my brother test drive this car just to kind of get his opinion on it, and he's had an STI, he's had an M3, he's had a GTR, has a GTR at the moment, so he's obviously used to fast cars, and he was actually really quite surprised by how well the WRX did, and quite honestly, he's like, Dev, this is an amazing car, like this tune feels great. So I don't know if he was just saying that to make me feel better. Definitely is going to behave like a completely new beast. It's going to wake up this FA motor. I think the Cobb map was just really kind of on the conservative side. The Stage 2 map, it just didn't unleash fully what this car is capable of. Now, again, I have this map in addition to the TGV deletes, so I'm not exactly sure how the Bren map would behave just comparing the Bren map with the Cobb map, because I did throw the TGV deletes in at the same time. But definitely, I think either way you look at it, the Bren map is going to be quite a bit more aggressive than the Cobb map. One thing I kind of do regret is that I didn't go ahead and just do EGV deletes in addition to the TGV deletes. It would have been so easy while I was in there to just do both, and I probably should have just done more research, you know, went ahead and purchased the EGV delete and taken care of that. You're basically working in the same exact area to do both, so take care of both while you're at it and save yourself the hassle of, like me, having to go back in to do the EGV deletes at another date. One other difference that I've picked up on in comparison to the Cobb map with the Bren map is almost in the Cobb map, I felt like second and third gear were quick, you know, but like fourth, fifth, and sixth didn't really have much. With the Bren map now, in like fourth, fifth, sixth gear, if you're just kind of cruising and you mash the throttle a little bit, it picks up and pulls hard. It's like those gears actually have power now, whereas with the Cobb map, it just didn't really feel like there was anything there. So I really like that about it as well. There's nothing I can complain about with the Bren Tune. I wish this is how the car would have been with the Cobb map, but if there's one big regret I had, it was waiting so long to pull the trigger on an E-Tune. So even like gas mileage, I haven't really noticed a big change there. I was kind of expecting, okay, you know, the Bren map's going to be a little bit more aggressive. I might take a little bit of a dip with my fuel economy, but it's actually been holding really well. I've actually been seeing high 24 to like 25 miles a gallon. So I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I was getting with the Cobb map. So really no change in fuel economy so far. So that's always a plus as well. And overall, guys, to sum up performance, you're going to see higher peak boost numbers. You're going to see a harder pull from 3,000 to redline. You're going to see better, if not the same, fuel economy in comparison to the Cobb map, and you're just going to feel a car that's more aggressive, more responsive, and just it's 100% worth it. It really behaves like a different car. And I'm sure if any of you guys watching this already have the Bren Tune TGV deletes, maybe a similar setup, you can definitely vouch that it's a new beast. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, what your experience has been with Bren, how your car is behaving. You know, how long have you been running the Bren map? Did you guys ever feel a need to actually have to get Bren to retune your car between seasons if you're in the Northeast like me? As you guys can see, it's snowing right now. Did you maybe, you know, get tuned in the winter and then have to maybe have them retune the car for the spring, summer. I'm really curious about that. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, hope you found this information useful. And if you enjoyed this one, definitely throw me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed yet, definitely consider subscribing. I don't do a ton of car content, but on my channel so far, a lot of videos are going to be of me and my wife traveling throughout the Caribbean or wherever, and just doing new adventures. If you're into any of that and the occasional car video with the WRX, definitely consider subscribing. Until next time, guys, peace out.
When I met you in the summer, when I met you in the summer, when I met you in the summertime with your fine ass, Merlot in that wine glass, she dope as hell from Jersey, baby. White girl, but the curves are crazy, and she up all night like Adderall. She likes.
God, this thing is filthy right now. I hate PA, guys. I hate the winter in general. This thing's such a mess. What the hell? Dude, these birds are like gonna. Why am I wearing sunglasses? It's sunny.
To take it slow, got summer flings and these summer things, but we just making memories. Just promise you'll remember me in that time when I met you in the summer, and I came to your town.